Welcome to the High Ground Podcast in under 10 minutes. I'm Stevie W.
And I'm Callum.
Okay, anyone, let's keep it going. Listeners, when we usually finish our podcast, we usually chill out with pizza and a movie. And last week, Callum, you chose Village of the Damned,
I did.
1995, underrated, underwatched John Carpenter movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I just want to bring people's attention. So, Village of the Damned, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, I haven't seen it I think I've only ever seen it once, and it was it was when I was younger, a lot younger. So it was basically like watching it for the first time again. So I mean, it was talking video era when I first saw it. But yeah, it's one of those. I think it's where Carpenter's films start to get like a bit more fun. I don't like to say worse, but they're more fun than they are sort of. Like his early works are really sort of you can analyze them and they're scholarly and like he is like the groundbreaking guy he was at the start. And I think this is sort of like his so-called wind down period. Because I'm pretty sure this was a contractual obligation, so he wasn't really fully on board with it. But I mean, considering it was one of those, it's still pretty good. Carpenter, when he's at his, can't really be asked, is still better than a lot of directors at their best.
I completely agree, but I tell you, the production value is a lot less. So, The Thing, They Live, and Fog, just to name three. But the photography is still superb. I mean, the visual composition is superb, and the cast of 80s icons, headed by Christopher Reeve, Kirstie Alley, and Mark Hamill, just to name three of them. And Linda Kozlowski from Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, you had to point that out to me. I didn't even realise.
I thought it was. I thought like I said, it was. I thought the framing. His DOPs are always.
He's always had a good eye for photography. I mean, I think he was into photography when he was a kid. So he's sort of like a jack of all trades director. Like does his own music for his films. Usually with a guy called Alan Howarth. Starting with Halloween 2, I think that was. But yeah, no, he's always had a good eye for picking good directors of photography. I think this one was. It was the one that came on board with They Live.
That's
his name, Gary something, I think. It's not Dean Cundy anymore. Can't remember his name now. Gary Kibb, that's it. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's. I mean, it's. What got me is it was. You don't see much blood or gore or anything, but the way there's the scene where the scalpel, and I was like, that's actually gruesome.
Boiling water.
Yeah, it's all. You know how it's a very simple effect to do, but it's like the shower scene in Psycho. It's less is more.
Yeah,
and I think it's fantastic. I think what a lot of horrors today, and a lot of horrors in that era, is gore for the sake of gore.
Yeah,
but to do things like traditional is fantastic. So and it's nice to actually see a movie that I'd never really heard of.
Yeah, no, I mean it's not one of his most well-known ones. I mean, there was another film I'd never even heard of that he made called Memoirs of an Invisible Man with Chevy Chase. I'd never even heard of that. I mean, I knew about the more obscure ones like this, and a lot of people haven't ever seen his first film, Dark Star. But he's quite he's got one of the directors with the most eclectic like collections of films. Like it's not just the one thing he does. He can do many things at once, which I think is like a lot of directors could learn from that. I mean, even something like Ghosts of Mars, it's considered like his quote unquote worst film, but you can still have a ton load of fun with it and know it's a John Carpenter film.
You say about directors that are only known for one thing. So if you look at Alfred Hitchcock, who did Trouble with Harry, people forget he did that mixed in with all the.
Well, I found that interesting that you had a trouble watching that one, didn't you? Like, as in you couldn't get into it as much as the rest of his output.
But towards the end, it was one of his Hitchcock's later films.
Yeah.
Topaz, which I thought was terrible.
Yeah, Topaz isn't great.
When you think back afterwards about Trouble with Harry and get around the fact that you're not watching a traditional Hitchcock film, it's actually enjoyable. And you look at Romero, who was typecast into doing one genre, even though they were more. People just see Romero, they think horror, they don't think social commentaries.
Romero started with not a romantic comedy, but he started with a romantic drama. He didn't a film called There's Always Vanilla, which you can now get on Blu-ray thanks to Arrow. But I mean, I mean, that's a great example. Like everyone just sees, and Toby Hooper as well. People just see, you know, see his schlocky films later, like Alligator and Life Force and that, and you forget he directed this great masterpiece like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. No, he is a horror guy, but I know what you mean. Like with Romero, again, it's always the zombie guy. Like, well, he's not just the zombie guy. Like, I mean, that alone is worth credits, isn't it? I mean,
Night and Dawn
to create a phenomenon that's still going, and a lot of people you talk to don't even know who created that phenomenon. Yeah. It's not like Star Wars where even the layman knows, oh, George Lucas invented that. You know, it's just, and same with Carpenter. Like Halloween, he invented the slasher genre. Yeah. Or he synthesized it anyway. I mean, you could. Funny we talk about Hitchcock. I mean, you could say he invented it.
Psycho.
But yeah, no, it's just, I don't know. I think he's just got such a good range of. There's always like a thriller element to his films, but yeah, I mean, Big Trouble is a comedy.
Yeah.
And
good film.
You know, and it's great. Like at first you're kind of like, I'm not sure about this, and then as it goes along, Kurt Russell just takes you away anyway, doesn't he?
But he does he's great at casting.
He is good at casting, yeah.
And to hire these 80s icons for Village of the Damned.
Yeah.
It's just like...
I mean, we were saying, well, it was weird seeing Mark Hamill, like, so young.
Yeah.
Like, after Star Wars.
And...
with a bad haircut.
Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
He's tall.
He is. It was his last film before he was injured.
Oh. It was...
And Kirstie Alley as well.
Yeah.
So we forgot about her.
From Star Trek 2.
Yeah, and Look Who's Talking as well.
Yeah.
I always remember that from.
God.
Oh, I like them.
Oh,
they're like childhood for me, so I think they're a bit sort of protected.
I think I saw the first one at the cinema, but you know, it's definitely worth checking out. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and the fiance was here when we were watching it. She enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, it was quite fun.
So, if you haven't seen Village of the Damned, check out Village of the Damned.
Very cheap online.
Yeah. So, that's been a High Ground podcast in under 10 minutes. I'm Stevie W.
And Callum.